So the first thing I learned was that a woman who has just had her hair blow dried is not the same she was earlier. There was something about this process, something about this blow drying process,
Absolutely.
which alters her. Yes. But this is, there's no parallel in the world of men to this. One moment she is candid, she is casual, she is entertaining, and the next moment she is still the same, but there's something different about her. She's whispering this inaudible sound that men recognize this sound. It's the sound of danger. It signals thin ice. It signals dark canyons, and missteps at this point are a no-no, and penalties can vary from medium to extremes. At this moment, men must signal appreciation and gratitude, and towards her with careful small gestures. And they must be aware that the quality of these gestures was scrutinized. But lucky for men, depending on the quality of that blow dry and the existing weather conditions, this transformation has a time limit. Once the hair has frizzed up or flattened out, the danger has abated, the cycle is complete. Men, on the other hand, are different. For most, a quick trip to the barber shop is good enough, followed by a desi head massage, if there is time, and there's no change after that. There's never really you never see a man getting a blow dry in the barber shop. And if men see something like that happening, they're generally very suspicious of such men. They don't know how to react to that sight. They're like, what's up? And but men do have a relationship with their hair, and I remember when I found this out. It was not too far from here. It was just at a barber shop not too far from here. Okay, so this is many years ago, and I remember I was sitting in the barber shop, and I was sitting on the chair, and I was getting my hair cut. And this guy was clipping the side of my head. He was clipping over here, clipping over here. And generally, after clipping the sides, they move to the crown position, right? And instead of moving here, this guy started clipping the front of my head. And I was wondering, why has he not, gone to the back of my head? And during this time, I remember that these two boys passed behind me, and they paused for a second. And one of them said to the other, he just looked at the back of my head, he said, "Guy," and he just walked up ahead. And I had heard him, but it didn't register in my head what he said, because I was still wondering, why isn't this guy gone to the back of my head? Why has he not cut the hair behind my head? And a few moments later, towards the end of the haircut, this guy, he held the scissors perpendicular to my head, brought it down, and just went clip once. And I was like, what was that? And soon, a little later, he held a mirror behind me. In the shop, they show you the back of your head, and he said to me, "Sir, everything okay?" And all I could see in that mirror was a small, round, bald spot, winking back at me. Okay, I said, and I said very clearly. The barber didn't suspect anything. I said it as if I had seen that bald spot many times before, but this was the first time I was seeing this. So in my house, there was this folding mirror, right? And I found that if you could set it at the right angle, you could see the back of your head. And it was like a folding mirror. You could hold it like this. And if you just look in the mirror from this side, you could see the back of your head. So as soon as I got back home, I figured out how to get that angle right. And yes, there it was. It was a clear bald spot, and it was very happy to be there. And later I phoned a friend who came to check, and he said, yes, it's over, it's gone. And that was day one. And they say that there are 5 stages to acceptance. Acceptance is denial, there is anger, there is bargaining, there is also depression, and there's also, finally there's acceptance. And apparently these are not sequential. They can more than one can occur together, and people react to it differently. One form of denial is acting as if the reality you're experiencing hasn't really occurred. And in my case, I couldn't do that because the mirror was, it was anchoring me to reality, so I really couldn't do that. And but men, they react differently, to losing hair at this stage. depending on the age, when this happens, men start, going to the gym, eating healthier, research all available information on hair transplantation. And some look for cures, they ask friends and family, and some look for cures such as, and they get answers like, use a lot of olive oil and coconut oil massages. And so they get those. And regular scalp brushing with a hard brush, and some of them lie upside down to increase blood flow to the scalp, right? And then there are also lots of new brands of shampoos and conditioners that they might try. And there's also a product called Regain, which is a tough choice considering that one of its side effects can be quite deadly. But some men use this product. I don't understand how they justify it. Those of you who have heard of this know what I'm talking about. Then there are alternative cures, which are found with a mysterious Hakim, right? And these usually include enchanted oils that may or may not cause allergies sitting to someone next to you. And there are also some chants that apparently you can read and blow on your head, which might bring your hair back. Right? I don't know if these work, but they exist. Then there are the bizarre cures that you might hear. Balding men might have heard of these. And one of them is use the blood of a crow sacrificed in the morning mixed with the feathers of a sparrow. I don't know if this works, but it's there. And there's also aged cow manure. I don't know. People come with strange things. There is one method which is scientifically known to cure baldness. Castration, which nearly all men brush aside. Though I suspect a few let the choice linger in their thoughts for a few days. During this time, men start noticing other men's hair like never before. It is like buying a new car and suddenly realizing that every other person on the road is driving the same model. Some say nothing at this point, others start praising the noticed full head of hair. Ye kya shine aa rahi hai yaar, sambhal ke rakhe isko, those kind of things. So, as the hair loss increases, men try different techniques to hide the progression. Some try this hairspray. You can spray it on your head and it can hide a few, some light bald spot. It can hide that. It's a hairspray. I've never used it, but I think it exists. And some try to grow their hair longer, hoping it would cover the balding areas. This usually doesn't work, and their hair can be seen waving like a flag in windy areas. There are wigs and topes, which can work from a distance, though at the expense of pity from an observer. They can work. So, yes, some grow one side and try to comb that side to the other, from here to there. These are the terrorists of baldness. They give them a bad name. Well, eventually all men have to come to terms with this battle. You will see them. They are some of them have scars left over from a bad transplant surgery, hair transplant surgery, and some of them have a sheared head. And but they say that you really don't know who you are until you stand at the precipice of what you fear. And baldness is one of those edges. Going bald is one of those edges. When a man starts losing his hair, or it is one of those things. The first day he sees it, he realizes that no, I'm at war, and I'm at war with getting something to do to get this thing back. And then there is it's a whole. Yes, he does go through this whole. These 5 cycles. I suppose there are more. He goes through these cycles in different ways to try and get that part of himself that he has lost. And I'm hoping that with this very short insight that I might have been able to give you at this point, you might be, next time you see a balding person, a bald person is through, he's on the other side. But the next time you might see a balding person, you might, approach him with a little bit more kindness. That's the story.